Good morning, all. I welcome you all to another day, and today we'll continue with our book reading, The Toyota Way to Service Excellence by Jeffrey K. Leica and Karen Ross. We'll continue from where we stopped yesterday on page 371, and we're still in chapter 10, which says The Long Journey to Customer Focused Learning Organization. And if we can remember, we are looking at the 4 P's in Lean principle, or the 4 P's of Lean management, which are philosophy, processes, people, and problem solving. And so far, we've been looking at the 3rd P, which is people. And yesterday, we looked at principle 13 and 14, which says develop fundamental skills and mindsets and develop leaders as coaches of continually developing team. We looked at how Ken, Todd, and Joe, were coaches and at the same time leaders, and how they were able to carry their teams along. That is their team of drivers. Like I said yesterday when we finished reading, I said we'll be looking at principle 15 of our book reading today, still on people. It said balance extrinsic and intrinsic reward. These are internal and external motivations, or internal and external rewards that can motivate people or a team to be excellent. So we'll dive in. Said principle 15 said balance extrinsic and intrinsic reward. Said I've never been happier in my life. Joe said to me the other day, it doesn't have to do with money, because there have been times when I made more money just doing straight taxi driving. I'm working harder than I've ever worked in my whole life. I used to really look forward to just hanging out, but now, if I have any spare time, I use it to do something for NTL. It is not what I expected. Interesting, I said. Why do you think that is? Well, said Joe, I think that it is because before I was making money and taking care of myself, but now I'm responsible for lots of other things. For our driver partners earning a living so that they can take care of their families. For our customers, making sure that they are having the service experience they deserve, and for Todd and Ken. My business partners, making sure that they are getting what they need. It is not easy turning our visions of one time, every ride, working together into reality, but it is a lot more rewarding than I can ever expected. That I have ever expected it to be. So problem solving, which is the 4th P, said continuous organizational learning. Continuous organizational learning. And principle 16 says continuously develop scientific thinking. Continuously develop scientific thinking. Tell me again what it stands for, Joe asks. P is for plan. D is for do. C is for check, and A is for act. I said. And it is a circle, right? Said Joe. It just keeps going and it's never ending. Yes, I answered. It is never ending. It is the way we can solve every problem, and make sure that we reach our goal. We need to learn our way towards the goal and figure it out as we go. And we do that by spinning the PDCA wheel over and over again, exclaimed Joe. I get it. Makes total sense to me, he said, as he reviewed the post-it notes I had given him. I'm going to keep this and put it where I can see it every day. Joe and I have been working together for the past 6 months, and during that time, Joe has been learning to use PDCA to solve a variety of problems that have gotten NTL up and running and progressing towards its goals. Getting the app completed, I need customers and drivers' hands, finding new customers, figuring out how to balance local and airport rides are just a few. To make sure that Joe is learning and making progress, we have weekly coaching meetings, and Joe can always reach out in between if needed. During our coaching meetings, I ask him questions and listen as he struggles, thinking the answers through. When the need arises based on the challenge being worked on, I teach him a tool or concept. During the meeting, we review progress towards goals and deals with any roadblocks. Then we set the challenge for the next day. And Joe's daily hurdles with his partners are an opportunity to rapidly spin the wheel as problem arise that day. Spinning the PDCA wheel daily, Joe is learning through doing with me as his coach, and he's also learning through coaching others. He has explained and taught PDCA to his business partners and driver partners, and he coaches them through solving problems that they are having. We have not approached this strictly following the practice routines of the improvement kata and coaching kata, but we use similar pattern of improvement and it is working. So this is where we stop for our reading today. Balance extrinsic and intrinsic reward. So what is your motivation? What makes you do what you do? What makes you happier? What makes you fulfilled and satisfied? What is that rewarding feeling you get? Or what do you do to get that rewarding feeling? Like Joe, he said he has never been happier in his life than other days, in his life. Why? He said it's not about money, but it's about the fact that he gets to help people, he gets to help his customers, he gets to work with his partners, and he gets to work with his business partners. Like he said, he's responsible for a lot of things, and he's trying to make sure that everybody is satisfied. Both his customers are satisfied, giving them what they deserve and what they need. So with time, he has been able to, work his vision to reality. And what is that vision? On time, every ride, working together. Which they, if we've been following the story of NTL, they've been able to actually achieve that with every step that they've been, taking together. So that is his reward. That is his intrinsic and extrinsic reward. These are the things that made him and makes him feel happy. These are the things that motivate him each day when he comes to NTL. They will dive down to problem solving, which is the fourth P of one of the 4 Ps of lean management. And Principal 16 said continuously develop scientific thinking. And what is this scientific way, or what is this scientific method that lean management uses to solve problem? One is the PDCA, which is defined here. P is for plan, D is for do, C is for check, and A is for act. It helps you when there is a problem. This is a scientific way of thinking of a solution for a problem. When there's a problem, what you do is plan. How do we go about this problem? How do we solve it? Then you carry out that strategies or those plans which you've put in place, for that problem. Then C is to check if these strategies or this solution you brought up has actually worked for that problem. If it has worked, or you've done the theory, or you've done the experiment and find out that it's going to work, then you can now implement. This is where you act. Then you can now implement it in the organization and say, okay, this is what we are going to be using because it has worked for social things. So this is going to be our standard of solving such problems if they eventually come up in future. So that is what it means by saying continuously develop scientific thinking. So you can use the PDCA theory to solve problems in your organization when it comes up. So the more problems common up. It's actually a progressive way, or there's a process and a successful way of solving problems in your organization and actually achieving your goals. So that is it for our reading this morning. Tomorrow we'll be looking at principle 17, which says align improvement objective and plan for enterprise learning. And remember, we are still in chapter 10, and we are looking at the fourth P of one of the 4 P's in lean management. Thank you.